And welcome everyone to lesson 5.1, part 3. This time, writing equations given 2 points. This is the most challenging of our writing equations problems. It's just the most time consuming. Okay, first off, identify the points. Little typo there. Problem about that. Identify the points, which this time around we're going to have two of them, x1 and y1, and x2 and y2. With these, we then need to find the slope, and that's going to be using an old favorite of ours, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You might be like, oh, that's why we have y2. Then you're going to select one point to use and substitute this and slope into what we learned last time, point slope form. And then it's just a problem like before, solve for y. Of course, be careful, horizontal, vertical lines. So let's get through the first of these. Through 2 points. So I have 2 points. I want to create the line that goes through them in the equation. As usual, label them out, okay? I think it's very helpful to do that, and it'll help you avoid mistakes. So we labeled them. Then we need to find the slope, which is m equals. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And just be careful plugging it all in. You guys all did pretty well with slope. So 1 minus 5 all over 4 minus 2 means our slope is negative 4 over 2, or negative 2. We're going to reduce it as much as we can. So now, we have a slope, and we have 2 points to pick from. I'm going to say pick one of them. I'm going to pick the first one. It really doesn't matter. But from now on, when we see x1 and y1, that's what we're using. Because the next step is point slope. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So, using that, we have y minus 5 equals negative 2 x minus 2. Where did all that come from? x1 y1 and our slope from m. Now it's just an exercise in solving. So y minus 5 equals negative 2x plus 4. Add the 5 to the other side. And we have y equals negative 2x plus 9. There it is. I know, a little bit of work, a mental workout, but hey, you did it. Great job, which means we can try some more to get even better. Okay, so just take your time, avoid little mistakes. Number 2 here. Got some negatives, so you want to be a little extra careful. First off, we got to find the slope. Need to know what slope's going on here. y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Where did all that come from? Again, label everything out. Okay, careful with our negatives. It's really negative 1 plus 2 all over negative 3. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1 over negative 3. That is our slope. Next up, pick a point. Just to emphasize, you could pick this point here. You can pick that. Just know that whenever we do y minus y1, we can actually do y minus y2 as long as we use x minus x2. So you can do that. That is perfectly legal, mathematically speaking. You'll get the same answer either way. So y minus, in this case, negative 1 equals negative 1/3 x minus negative 1. I'd recommend take care of those minus negatives. It's going to make your life easier. We have some distributing to do. and then just subtracting 1. Calculators are your best friend with fractions. Negative 1/3 minus 1. Please use Math Enter to make it another fraction. Most teachers, myself included, don't want to see a mix of fractions and decimals. Just kind of improper. So we have negative 4/3. Whoops, not our slope. Negative 1/3 as our slope and negative 4/3 as our y-intercept. Okay, so be careful with negatives. The last two examples here have little curveballs with them. Okay, through the point 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 3. Something might be going on, and you might notice, hey, those are the same. Well, let's see what happens. If we were to take this and find the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's see what happens. We have negative 3 minus negative 3 all over negative 1 minus 2. Negative 3 minus negative 3 is 0 over negative 3. And 0 divided by negative 3 is 0. So we have a slope of 0. Remember, what did a slope of 0 mean? Slope of 0 is a horizontal line, which is always y equals. So if you notice, our y values are always negative 3 because we have that slope of 0. You could simply just go right ahead and write y equals negative 3 once you see that slope and you have 0. You could do the whole process with point slope, but once you notice that slope of 0, just focus on the y values, and that is the equation of that line. Okay? Similarly, the next one here, when we find that slope, negative 4 minus 2, all over negative 5 minus negative 5. We have negative 6 over 0. Negative 6 divided by 0. You can't divide anything by 0. It's undefined. Which corresponded with a vertical line of x equals. Not sure why we have that going on there. Okay. Just ignore that. And if you know that the slope is undefined and it's x equals, you can just focus on the x values because they're the same and simply write the equation of x equals negative 5. It's only for whenever your slope's undefined versus whenever it is 0 versus when it's a different number. So great job, guys. I know that's a lot of work for some of those problems, but I believe in you. Try out those problems. There's some multiple choice on the back too, and great job.